that an elephant? Hi there, it's Christy with the Chirp YouTube channel, which is where you are watching this video. Today, we're going to talk about stage 2 in playing with a child with autism outside. This is part of my Playing with a Kid with Autism series. I have a few different scenarios in which you might be playing with a child, and I give you 3 stages of play, which you can take from and use in your play activities. Playing outside is a little bit different because you don't know exactly what you're going to get. I can't say, here's how you play with a train set, or here's how you play with a toy house. So we have to think about the overall theme of each stage. In the video that I posted last week, which you can find right there, we talked about the first stage of playing outside, which is the beginner stage, where we are going to work on labeling stuff. So we're modeling language for the child, and we're going to work on sharing excitement so we can build that engagement. Today, we're talking about the moderate stage, and the key to this stage is practicing back and forth communication, which we're going to call circles of communication. You can read more about circles of communication if you read up on the DIR Floortime model developed by Serena Weeder and Dr. Stanley Greenspan. I'll put links to this model down below. There are also a couple of other models that use this kind of language, such as the Hanen program. Now we'll put links to that down below. The idea of a circle of communication is that it's not just me broadcasting stuff towards the child. It's me throwing a ball and waiting for the child to throw the ball back before I throw another ball. This can be very tricky for us human beings without neurological difficulties because we want to keep communicating. It's wired in us to communicate with other human beings. We don't often think about whether anyone's communicating back. And that's a problem because we don't want to bombard our children with autism, other people with autism, in fact, other people without autism. It's not very kind, and it can be overwhelming. We need to make sure that this is a back and forth communicative activity. It's not just me blaring at a child. So, what we're going to do is we're going to look for situations in which there can be a back and forth. Some of these things are going to be games that we can play outside. For example, if you have an actual ball that you can throw back and forth, you can practice rolling it across the ground, back and forth. This isn't a verbal activity, but it is a communication activity, at least from my perspective, because the child has to look where you are, has to notice the ball coming at her, has to look where you are again to push the ball back. There's usually shared excitement. There's usually a response of some kind like, yay! There's fun happening between 2 people, or maybe more people. And that is a great, fun, engaging activity. Play ball. You can blow bubbles outside and blow them and then stop. The kid will pop them, and then perhaps the child is verbal and might say, bubbles. Perhaps the child is not as verbal yet and might just look at you right in your face to request more bubbles. This is a circle of communication. You blow the bubbles, you're throwing the ball to the kid, basically, throwing the ball, the communication ball, and then you wait. Sometimes an awkwardly long time because our kids do have some processing delays. And sometimes they don't figure out what they need to do to get you to blow more bubbles. So you might have to model bubbles. And then the child says, bubbles. That is her throwing the communication ball back to you. Then you blow bubbles again. You try to create as many circles of communication in a row as you can. This is what makes conversation. If you think about it, right now, I'm just kind of speaking without any response from anyone, because that's kind of what the internet is. But when I'm having a conversation with my friend Jen, I say, Jen, how was your day? And then I wait, and she responds. And then I say, wow, I'm glad it was so great. And she says, how was your day, Christy? And then I respond to that. It's an endless circle of, an endless sequence of circles of communication. We want to teach our kids how to do that. Most kids with autism cannot sustain an endless sequence of circles of communication. They lose the trail of it at some point because it takes a lot of concentration for them to continue to tune in to another human being. It can be very difficult. And we want to train it, and we want to train it in fun ways, like bubbles, like playing catch with a fun ball. We can do this with the swing. As I was mentioning last week, usually at the beginner level in playing outside, I will push the child from the front so I can see her face. I will push her from the front. Every once in a while, I'll stop the swing and say, stop. At the moderate level, I will wait before pushing her again. I will wait with excitement. I will wait with expectation that she is going to communicate to me somehow that she wants me to push her again. But sometimes when I stop the swing, the child will just get off and walk away, in which case I walk away as well because we're going to play something else now. But in most cases, the child is working in her brain to try to figure out, how do I get Christy to push me again? If I know that that's happening and I know the child can't access that communicative skill right now, I will model, once again, push. And then she can say push, and then I can push her with great excitement, and we can share the fun of swinging. But that is another circle of communication. I push, I stop. The stop is my throwing the communication ball to her. She has to do something in order for me to carry on with this activity. She either has to tell me to push or look at my face like, woman, push the swing. And then I push it again. So we want, again, as many communication circles as possible in a row. Let's think of another activity that we could do where we could have back and forth interactions. What else is at the park or in the yard? And I guess another thing we could do is to play a game, a talking game. So this one is for if your child is now a little bit verbal. You might say something like, I see an airplane. What do you see? And then look all around and wait. Kids oftentimes have fun with this at the moderate stage because we have already played around with excited labeling at the beginner stage. Kids get really excited when they see their own skills advancing. It's really fun to be able to do something that you couldn't do before. So at the beginner stage, if you remember from my previous video, we, the adult, are labeling things for the child. At the moderate level, we can back and forth name things. I see a bird. What do you see? Or, I hear water. Where is it? And then the child can either respond, over there, or no water, or whatever the case is. Don't be afraid to be silly about this. You can pretend you see stuff that you don't see. You can say, oh, is that an elephant? And the child will probably look. And I've played some really silly imaginary games with children with autism because, number one, they love to be silly. They love it when someone else understands their jokes. And most people don't, because most people are just not as great as us. Let's just be honest. We here, you and I, we really want to understand. And we want to understand kids with autism. So we tune in a little bit better and we try a little bit harder, and that makes it easier for our kids. So one little girl that I worked with, we'd play make-believe games like this all the time. Is that an elephant? And she would giggle and say something like, dinosaur. And then I would look over there and say, a dinosaur. And we would play a back and forth game of crazy things that we saw at the park or on the street or in the living room. And it became a very fun relational engagement game that was really good for her communication too, because she wanted to learn words of things that she liked, even pretend things, so that she could incorporate them into her crazy games. Think of any way that you can at this stage to make your activity back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Think of circles of communication, if that helps you. Think of throwing the communication ball back and forth. I mean, you don't throw it back and forth. You throw it to the kid, and then you wait. Sometimes, as I mentioned, an uncomfortably long time. Think of all those little zappy neurons that have to take time to work because our kids have a little bit of a delay in there. And be patient and keep on expecting that the child is going to respond and that you're going to keep on building so that next time you go to the park, maybe you can play at the advanced level, which I will discuss in my next video. Thank you for being here. Don't forget to subscribe. Click that little bell if you want to. If there's anyone you know in your life who might appreciate learning some new skills about playing with kids with autism, forward this video right on to them. I will see you next time. Have a great day. Bye.